heard the most awesome saying this week, how you should use your weekend to build the life you want and not escape the life you have. Do you feel me?
I fucking feel ya. Yeah, it's a very good saying. I mean, I feel like we were kind of doing it without knowing that that was a saying. Because last year, I think it's quite relatable. I tried to implement last year to be a life that I love every day, not just for a holiday. As you all know, we've spoke about that in the past. So I love that saying. It's so good. And at the moment, I'm living it. I can tell you that for free. I am living it. I feel like, Charlotte, you have even been shunned to the side at the moment with me.
I know. I'm like heartbroken. I haven't spoken to you at all this week. This morning was the first time since last week. It's like
And
the
you dropped
longest
me a
we've ever gone.
It is. And you dropped me a line this morning, like as if something was wrong. I was like, oh my God, I got to call her immediately. You're like, call me when you get this. And you rang me at like 7:30.
I know. I was like, enough is
wrong.
enough. I've given you
Well,
space. Now come back.
I know. I'm working the weekends. I was working every hour I was sent. And simply because, and my adrenaline doing it was magnificent because I had a target, I had a goal, I had a date. And it's incredible how motivated you are when you set yourself time frames and a target within the time frame.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely smashed it. But it took every weekend. It took every ounce of my soul because that's, bear in mind, I used to be able to put the foot to the floor back in the day a lot more. And this time, when the day came where I hit my target, the day after I crumbled to the floor. The adrenaline was obviously pumping through me. I had a target. I was driven. And I made it. And the next thing was I was like flat as a pancake. And I've been really slow this week. But the funny thing about all that is because I had so much adrenaline and I had a target and I was making it and it was just giving me a buzz. But it's like my customers knew because I swear to God, Charlotte, I'm not even joking. I got they were bringing me in coffees without knowing. They were like, oh, I just thought I'd get you a coffee. I just ate a Boston cream donut today. I mean, the people that bring stuff from bakeries down from Queenstown, it's unbelievable. And while all this was happening, there was my online shop was doing well, which massively helped. The gratitude that I have for having the salon in Lumsden, I can't even explain because to be able to open up 6 days a week and 4 of them, if not 5 of those days per week were 11-hour shifts and to fill every single slot for 6 weeks is outrageous. Like the gratitude that I had for just the fact that I can open up when I need to dig deep and do that is incredible.
Yeah. And even more incredible, like when you've had those kind of weeks, you're not using your days off to recover. You're using it to build the life that you want. And, like us doing this podcast, and we've been working our asses off with the podcast, like trying to, just do better than last year was so incredible. So we're just smashing targets.
I know. And, people obviously you have this idea of a day off being off from I'm going to watch the videos on YouTube, people. I'm inverted commas. I'm you want to be away from, you want to take yourself away from all the admin and the pushing forward and not thinking about all that. But actually an hour or 2, if not 3 on your day off is actually what's going to accelerate that. So, Oz, we could...
I mean, I didn't even realize, when I said it until what you've just said, that, we do spend our time off, essentially, kind of working, but we're working on, our side hustles. But to us, that's a day off. Today, I did, a reel for my business, but that to me is my Saturday.
You can get quite used to it. I know, but you can get quite used to it. You can get quite used to kind of working all the time, and then you can forget about other stuff. So like I implemented things just within my day. Once again, habits, habits, habits. So instead of
Mm.
just feeling like I was driving to Lumsden, going to work, coming home, eating, going to bed, getting up, going to work, coming home, eating, so on and so forth. What I did was I implemented so many good habits. Like I ate very well. I cut out alcohol. I worked out for 10 minutes every single morning. And it made me feel like I had a life around the routine of nailing it as well. So when I'm by doing that and spending the last 6 weeks watching myself do that, I kind of thought like, okay, I get now a lot of the books that we're reading. I get it. There is no
Mm.
day off. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
day
exactly
off,
it.
day on. There's no weekends. It's like it's just you're always just working slowly but surely towards your aims, goals, and anything you want in life, however you want to phrase it. And it felt quite like I felt a shift. I felt a big shift in that, and it was incredible, actually, to be honest. And I can't agree with you more. Saying like using the weekend to build your life, and your weekend could be a Tuesday or Wednesday, it could be a Saturday or Sunday, whatever your weekend is out there. It might feel daunting opening up something to get it done, but
Mm.
once you do it, the feeling is magic. So try and have like habits and routine. And it sounds really boring, and we sound so old, but it's so
Well,
true.
no, like, I mean, the thing is, I mean, we've spoken about this before. Like, if you enjoy it, it is a lifestyle and it is fun.
Yeah.
If you dread it, then obviously it's not fun and it's a punishment. That it's not like that for us, and we really are genuinely like all of the I don't know what's happened to me. I spoke to a friend, she said there's a full moon, so I think it must be that. But I am having such a creative, like, just serious leveling up of my business. And I'm even thinking of renaming it, like rebranding. I'm I'm like going all the way. I don't know what's happened to me. It's literally this week. Maybe it's because I haven't spoken to you.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I've had no one to bounce ideas off, so I'm just doing crazy shit everywhere.
Good.
But no, I've really enjoyed it, and I've literally been jumping out of bed because I'm so excited for everything that I planned for the day, and I can't wait to get stuck in. And like, and it's even like we've said this before about making doing one tiny action that day to you know compound over time and become that atomic habit, like we did when we bought the mic. We wrote down buy a mic, and then 3 months later we bought one, and now a year later we're here, you know knocking it out the park. And I kind of did that this week. Like, I set up a TikTok account for the marketing business because I haven't been on there. I've got the coaching on there, but I've not got my marketing. And yeah, it's just been like one of those weeks where I've just been like, oh my God, what about this? And what about this? And because I've been so excited. And like you say, when the adrenaline of when, you're working towards something, I've got this vision in my head. I mean, it helped that I closed the end of year with my biggest year yet. So I think that's also really boosted me and made me think, yeah, let's do this. Let's smash it. Let's keep going. And what a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, wonderful. But I think then it's very good to know that when you're starting to fade, just give yourself a little bit of time. When you start feeling the body starting to fade, it's important then just to set a bit of time
Yeah.
aside and do something that brings you back to life again. Whether that's just going for dinner or watching a movie because that's what you love, right? So yeah, it's just really important just to have that little bit of moments as well, to have the depth, because I'm in that week where I'm just having that little bit of, okay,
Yeah.
the world isn't going to fall apart. I'm going to do the minimum because I've been absolutely pushing it. And I can feel myself starting to kind of come back again to that, like, oh my God, that was such a fun 6 weeks. I won't be able to do that consistently. But the things that I implemented that did make me healthier, that did make me stronger, I can keep doing that with my normal routine. And who knows where that will take me? That's absolutely so exciting.
Yeah. And I did have a moment like that this week that I've been really, trying to go back. I found a new spot for my reading. So obviously it's getting colder. The sun lounger is almost put away. That I bought a new armchair a few months ago, and it's in a position where you can't really see the TV, but you can see the fireplace. So I've made this my new 4 p.m. reading spot. And every day this week I've been reading. And it was just a lovely evening. Like, this is probably one of your kind of spills. It was a lovely evening one day, and like I could see, because I've got a giant tree just outside in my garden, and I could see the sun and the leaves and the shadows, and it was all really magical.
Oh.
And I just sit there wondering. I was like, I wonder if there was like this massive global disaster and I was the only person left. And normally, I've thought about this before. Normally, my thought is go and let all the animals out, like, all the cats and dogs that are stuck in a house. But anyway, aside from that, think, right, there's no threats. There's no animals in danger. There's literally no people. So there's no danger of you, like being attacked or anything. And I was sitting there thinking, would I still mow my lawn?
I can answer that for you. The answer would definitely be yes.
Yes, I would. I was thinking, I totally would.
You do it for yourself. Like, you're not doing that for anyone else. Like,
no.
You do that for your own pleasure.
I wanted to ask you on here, if you were in this position and you were the only one left, how would you spend your time?
I have one question before I answer. Is there animals though? Like for food?
Yeah, there is animals, but there's none in danger, so you don't need to save any.
Okay, perfect. So there's just none in threat. The first thing I would do is I would get myself a decent house, accommodation, hut, whatever the case may be.
Well, not rob one because no one lives in it, but yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. It's got to have it has to function with no electricity.
Yes.
You're
so practical, aren't you? I'm like thinking about mowing my lawn. You're like,
fuck the lawn. I would definitely pick a house that already has an edible garden.
Yes.
And I would definitely, while doing all that, I would put some lines in the river for fishing. And
crikey. How do you just know all this off the top of your head? Like, you're so far advanced from me.
Well, you'd be surprised how much you have to eat to not fade away to nothing. So, like, a couple of fish ain't going to cut the mustard. A couple of berries ain't going to cut the mustard. You need hardcore. Like, you need to definitely catch a bigger animal. So then I'd have to have guns. My first step would be have enough food to keep me going while I'm getting myself set up. So the fish is good because you can leave lines in the river, and you can go back to them. I know, but
sorry, can I just interrupt? You're not going back to caveman days. The supermarkets are still here and they're still full of food that doesn't go off. Like, you could still buy, pasta and a bolognese sauce. Well, not buy, just take, because no one's here.
Well, I suppose there's so much to do then. Every vehicle has to go filled with fuel. So I can actually get someplace. I'd have to get a horse close by in case I need to ride the horse someplace, or just for pleasure, of course, later on when I'm all set up. Food, and then local houses that are around me. I'd go raid them for cans or anything that I could preserve. I'd dig a big hole. I'd dig a really big hole, and I would definitely kind of, I suppose, dig a really big hole and then make sure it doesn't cave in. Put some kind of I suppose, retaining wall around it in the inside, and try and cover as well as I could for refrigeration, natural refrigeration, because who knows how long the electricity will last with just me on the planet, because I'm not a fucking Sparky. Yeah, and I know there's so much. Oh my God, Charlotte, what a question.
I know, your world sounds really fun though. It sounds like kind of Lara Croft style. Like, you're going to be doing roly-polies in the fields with your gun on your back.
I could get a saddlebag for the horse and put the gun in the saddlebag and head off into the mountains, and then I could put a deer over the horse so I could keep my energy. Oh, that's a really good idea.
Oh, it sounds like this will be your heaven.
Doesn't sound too bad. I mean, you'd have to prepare for the seasons, of course, provided you're in a place that has that is seasonal. Because I'd have to learn how to ice fish if the rivers froze over during the winter, obviously, and because the electricity isn't going to last forever in the supermarket, so things are going to get spoiled. I'd have to dig holes everywhere. Like I'd have to put everything from the freezers into the I'd have to dig holes beside the supermarket to make sure I could preserve the food at the supermarket. Oh my God, so much fun. I mean, you wouldn't be bored. The mental strain, of not having anyone around. Yeah, that would be the other side of it. The mental
But then
strain
you've
and the
got
thought of
animals.
like, oh, well then.
Talk to them. I do. I'm teaching one of mine to sing at the moment.
Oh my God. Oh, well, I mean, listen, whatever floats your boat in your house, you're worse than Sandro. Oh my God, the two of you.
But I mean, like I used to have the same idea as you when I've thought about this before, but not that there's no more people. And so I always used to think like where I lived in Surrey, what house as I was driving around, I'd think, what house would I take? And I'd want one with security cameras and things like that because I'm so terrified I'm going to get attacked. But if there's no people, it totally changes the game. But it's not scary.
I definitely would. I'd have a shower in everyone's house.
Why?
I don't know.
Just for the fun.
Well, especially if we're in a seasonal place, because for winter I'd have to buckle down possibly a little bit more in the one spot for about 3 months. So if I use everyone else's gas, then I'd have the gas bottles for myself for 3 months.
Well, yeah, you could just go to a bloody gas plant and just keep filling up.
I know, but see, there we go. So if we're by ourselves,
I know it gets so deep, doesn't it? I mean, imagine me sitting on my armchair looking at the fire, thinking about all this, and I was just like, I need to ask you.
I know. And you've trundled at me on the podcast, so I'm here wondering. My brain is going 90 miles an hour. I'm thinking, ooh, it sounds lush. But like I cats for sure. I would be all over the cat situation. But then, how would I like be a vet? Like, so there'll be some very hard times where you'd have to shoot something to put it down.
Oh, crikey. Let's not go there. Like, let's just think of the fun possibilities. This isn't actually happen. We don't have to go down the doom.
You know what you should do? You should join the program alone. Maybe you should apply for alone and they'll take you to the Arctic Circle and see how long you last. And if you're the last one walking out, you get $500,000.
Wowzers. Is that New Zealand dollars?
Oh, I could only imagine American. I never thought about it.
Wow. Well, yeah, I'll look that up. What app is that on?
It's on TVNZ.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. And
there's
go for it. Sorry.
There's a fun fact. There's a fun fact about one of the series on Alone, actually. I watched it a while ago, and it's a fun fact that people might not know. But in Canada, I'm veering off, but I feel like I have to say it because it's amazing. In Canada, North Canada, there's a fishing village where a lot of Irish, I'm not too sure how long ago, probably should have done my research before I jumped into this. A lot of people from Ireland, especially Cork, went to this fishing village. And because it was so intense with the amount of Irish, even though it was a stupid amount of years ago, they've all been raised, and all the generations down have a severely strong Cork Canadian accent. And it's nearly unrecognizable. It needs subtitles. And there was a guy with this accent on Alone, and I swear to God, it's worth watching it. It's the Arctic Circle series of Alone, and it's series 11, or season 11. I swear to God, this guy is unbelievable. And I knew that fact years ago. So when I was watching the series, I was like, oh my God, he's a Cork Canadian. Isn't that mad? I think they put out that this remote village needed people. And of course, the Irish were like, we're on the way. We're on the way. But yeah, anyway, I'm sorry. I veered off. But yes, a global disaster. It'll be a lot of fun with heartache. And wouldn't it be mad if magically out of nowhere, everyone just appeared again? And there you were, just after developing this whole different world for yourself, and people just magically come back and you have to explain yourself.
Why you've stolen their house and all their tin food.
Why is there holes beside every supermarket?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's the picking the house, isn't it? I mean, even in real life, I think picking a house, sometimes you have choices and sometimes you don't. I mean, like with us, you built yours. You had an amazing opportunity that you got to design it yourself. But mine, I bought from the UK. I hadn't even seen it. That, when you're buying houses, that's also quite difficult. And even as business owners, buying houses is troublesome.
Torture.
As I'm putting that politely.
You are putting that very politely. Yeah.
I'm like troublesome, aka Grainne translates as torture.
It is torture. I mean, listen, we both went down two different paths. You decided to go down the path of buying one when having your business, and we chose to work for people for our first time. Which is so much easier. FYI, if anyone is trying to out there choose between they open a business or get a house, get the house first and then open the business. 110%. Because if I wanted to buy a second property now, they're going to go through my books, and as you know, I've been keeping there's no profit margin. They want to know that you can service it, even if you're going to Airbnb it, even if you can afford it, even if it doesn't matter. It's what's on paper for the bank.
Yeah.
Is all that matters. And you then ended up with a massive tax bill because you have to show as much profit margin as humanly possible so that you can show the bank that you can service a full mortgage, and therefore you end up then going into your house and it's a big celebration, and then it's a big kick in the face for a whole year. You're then under severe pressure trying to pay the tax on the bloody profit margin that you made to buy the fucking house. I mean, it is just a head fuck, isn't it?
It really is. It's just a circle of death. And I feel like I'm going through it again because I did that big U-turn in August last year where I was pulling back, try not to earn as much money. I can't afford all of this. It's crazy. And then I was like, what am I doing? Earn more. And now I've had the biggest year yet that I don't know what the tax bill's going to be. But it's been even then though, when I had a really good year and, I had to really push the profit margin, even then the bank still wanted me to get letters from tenants signing that they're going to rent a room to prove I could service it. And, I did actually have someone planned, but she ended up moving away to Australia. So she didn't move in, and I can service the mortgage on my own anyway. I don't need anyone, but it's just funny how I don't know what they think we do with our money, but it's what do you think I'm doing? Why don't you think I can pay this? But they made me jump through so many hoops.
Mate, your hoops were insane. And the thing is, you're giving your application form in black and white to somebody who works in a bank. And not everyone that works in a bank has their own business to know how survivable you can be and how savvy you can be. Now that I do have my own business, there's things I thought I knew, but I clearly I did not. So it's all what's there in black and white. And I think also because when you have your own business, you can kind of push yourself to the limit. So when you're given the target of paying your full mortgage, you can be sure you can double down to make sure that happens as well. But that's not something you can put in black and white. It's all figures in black and white. So that's just what they're looking at. And you're an investment to them. They want to know that you can pay that back. And unfortunately, if we could do it, we can't do it without the bank right now. Shall I say that? Obviously in our future selves, we'd like to be able to be we're just going to buy it, cash buy. So we need the bank. And unfortunately, those loops have to be jumped through. For instance, at the moment, we're trying to project. Even the bank are even they're even okay with if you can try and project what your business may bring in. For Sandro, for instance, because of the type of business that he's got, our books will be done this month, and also we're going to try and do a trajectory of what we think next year looks like for him, so that we can try our best to look as good as possible on paper. And we've got a really good equity, and they're still down our throats, obviously, about servicing it, which isn't a bad thing, because there's a lot of people out there that probably lied through their teeth, or said that they would get these tenants, and it's turned out they probably can't service their mortgage. So it's kind of like a lot of us can live in la la land. And the reality is, it sounds great that your mortgage repayments might only be 700, 500, whatever you think they may be. But then you've got house insurance. There's a lot that goes on top of it. There's maintaining your own fucking rates.
Rates my biggest expense apart from the mortgage. Like, it's huge. And I get
Well,
two.
yours is a lot more than mine.
Yeah. And we get because we get Central Otago Council, and then we get like the regional council as well. So we get two. Mental.
Fuck. Yeah.
But anyway, that's dwelling. Like, we are thriving. So it's not like we're drowning in it. But it's just that whole, if somebody had talked about this 2 years ago, I would have been like, hang on a minute, let me listen. Because I was in a position where for like a year and a half, I kept getting turned down, and I couldn't understand why. And I was like, but my business is making really good money. Like, I don't get why you keep saying no to me. I can clearly service it. And it was just no, 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 no. And, I just couldn't understand what their criteria was, because I was earning more than other people I knew that were servicing their mortgages. And I just didn't, it was purely because I think I was self-employed, that, it's that they must cut your earnings just in case, there is a pandemic or something, as a safety net. So when I was in the UK, I looked at getting a mortgage, and they said, because my income was foreign, because it was New Zealand, that they would only take into account 60% of my earnings, just in case there's a difference in exchange rate. And I was like, whoa, that's a big difference. So, it then was tiny. So, I think there must be some condition that if you have your own business, they don't take the whole sum. They take a percentage of it.
Risk.
And I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I'm just thinking, like, why didn't they say yes before?
Oh, we're a higher risk. Like, I mean, having your own business, it's a higher risk as well. There's a higher risk to losing everything, I suppose. But like, you just get a job, right? Like, I mean, but now in saying that, like, without the business, I wouldn't be able. Well, then again, without the business, I'm only servicing the house. So a 9-to-5 would probably cover that. Whereas I'm thinking of the whole picture. Obviously, I have, like, the business is what covers.
Yeah, but
I suppose, yeah,
you're not going to just quit your business and get a job. Like, I mean, I did try that. Remember, I lasted about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you just can't go back once you've had your own business and you've lived that life.
All right, there is Sandro has just pulled up outside, and he's coming in the door, and it's locked. And I'm just telling him, come in the side door. He has just purchased a rooster.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
He purchased a rooster. He's on his way home. The rooster's in the truck. It's absolutely hilarious. He's coming in now.
To annoy the neighbors a bit more after all the...
Oh my God, the podcast has been interrupted. Sandro, come around here so everyone can see the rooster.
So if you're listening in a car, you can't see, but there is a rooster in a cage.
We had a little bit of an accident this week. Okay. There was an accident, and unfortunately a stoat got into our chicken coop, and our beautiful rooster and a few of our chickens have unfortunately been murdered. And it was very sad. And I know. I mean, to be honest, they're quite traumatized, the chickens that are left. Yeah, Mama Bear, Frizzle Dizzle, Santa Claus, they're all gone.
Wow. That's a selection of names right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But before we go, Before we go, I just wanted to bring up, because I heard, we love the whole JOMO saying. I just wanted to bring up this new one that I've heard, which is, I don't know how to even pronounce it. Phoebe, Fibi. Fuck it, book it.
Oh, I think you've lived all your life like that so far, to be fair.
Yes, I have. And you know what came to mind when I saw it was, oh, well, we've hit our year now. We definitely need a retreat. So fuck it, book it.
Yeah, well, you
Let's go
keep
to a
on my
tropical
case about
island.
that. I know. Well, I've done a few things. I'm actually going. I have fuck it booked it for a couple of things this year. I'm doing that retreat up the road,
You have?
and then I have, and then I've also booked to go ski touring in August. I'm going backcountry ski touring. Can't wait. Never skied in my life.
I remember you saying this. Can you snowboard on the trip, or does it have to be skiing?
No, I don't want to snowboard because I can snowboard. I actually want to have a bit of fun. And apparently there's no edges on backcountry skis, so you're just going to keep on doing the splits. Apparently, I heard when you're trying to get used to it. But fuck it, I think it'd be a bit of a laugh. And then we're going to stay the night in a hut up there, and then we're going to backcountry ski our way out. How fun!
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. I do think sometimes we live in this lovely destination and we used to make the most of it. Well, you more than me, but just doesn't even cross my mind now of oh, I got the mountain today.
Oh, and I do plan on going on a weekend snowboarding up Cadrona because they've opened up a new lift into Soho Basin. So fuck it, I'm booking it. Love that.
Fuck it, book it.